All right. Remember, if you're talking, we don't continue. If you're talking, we go back to taking notes on our notepads and all that. Okay? When you line those up vertically, you get 5.36, and you have 2.2564. And you're subtracting them. So I got to put zeros there. When you get the correct answer, it should be 3.1036. Okay? All right, obviously you would have to borrow, make that a 9, make that a 5, make that a 10. All right. All right. Last one of these. Number 12. 3,805,000. Whoops, hang on. I wrote that wrong. 3,806,321 minus 342. And that's dollars. All right. So, once again, when you have the answer, raise your hand or raise your board. Nope, have a seat. You can keep your board ready, but remember, this one should be lined up like this. 3,806,321 minus 342. If you were going to add zeros to this number, they would come in front like this. Okay? Not at the back. You can't put them at the back. In other words, you could put them here and it doesn't change the number. Okay? If you put 342 and add these to it, that changes that number a lot. Okay? And so when you're done with that one, you end up getting 3,805,979. Okay? All right, I want to look at number 14. 14, it's talking about patterns. We haven't really discussed patterns, but realistically, once you see these, I think you'll be able to. Okay, copy that down. 14 says 1.9, 1.6, 1.3. Then it wants you to list the next two numbers in the pattern. Okay, well, the three dots right here means the pattern continues exactly the same. Okay, so if the pattern continues exactly the same, then what's my next number? Quade. Right, 1.0. Good. What's my number after 1.0, Tayshawn? 0.7. Good. Okay, so you're done. That's it. It's not real hard. Okay, just want you to see the pattern. Let's look at another one here. Does anybody not see that pattern? In other words, you're reducing it by 0.3 each time. 0.7, you're just going to take 1.0 and you're subtracting 0.3 from it. Okay? And so therefore you have to borrow, making that 0, making that 10. 10 minus 3 is the 0.7. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're just subtracting 3, just like we took 1.3 and subtracted 3.3 from it. Okay? Now, let's look at number 16. 16 is a little bit more difficult to gather. 0.02, 0.04, 0.08, ... And they want the next two. Okay? What's the next one? In other words, if I said 2, I said 4, I said 8, what would be your next number? Judah? No. Johanna? No. Nikki? No. Quade. Nope. Brittany. Nope. Nick. No. Now stop. Everybody stop. Listen to me. Listen to my numbers. 2, 4, 8. 2, 4, 8. Nikki. 0.16. You're doubling it each time. In other words, to go to 2 to 4, I doubled it. To go 4 to 8, I doubled it. Okay? So what is next? If 0.16, Shania? No, we're doubling it. Erica? 0.32. You're doubling it. You're taking and adding the same amount. In other words, look, you're taking 0.04 plus 0.04. That's 0.08. Then we're taking 0.08 plus 0.08. That's 0.16. So you're taking 0.16 plus 0.16 to get the 0.32. Okay? That's how you're doing it. You're doubling it each time or adding itself to itself. All right? So that's how you do those. Now let's look at 17. You could say multiplying, but we really don't know how to. We haven't covered multiplying decimals, and so that's why they're not going to say multiplying. Number 17 says Mercury's mean distance from the sun is 0.387 AU. AU means astronomical units. Okay, astronomical units is basically equal to 92 million miles. Okay. So Pluto is about 39.24 astronomical units. Okay? About how much further away from the sun is Pluto than Mercury? So here's what they want. They want you to take 39.24 and subtract 0.387. Okay? And then at the end, you're going to have this. Like that. We've got to add a 0 to the top number because it's behind the decimal. And that gives me, borrow from that, make it 3. Borrow from that, make it 1, make that 13. Borrow from that, make it 8, make that 11. And then I have 8. So I have 38.853 AU. Okay? You must have the label on that answer. Okay, so that means it's approximately, if you take 92 million and multiply it by 38, that's the difference between the two distances. Okay? And I know there's debate on whether or not Pluto is a planet and all that. I don't really care about that. Okay? The Lord knows, and that's all that matters to me. All right, so your homework. You have 1.6. 1 through 20. 1.6, 1 through 20. Now, you really only have about 3 minutes left in class. We did quite a few of those as examples, okay? So when you come to an example out of your notes in your homework, then just copy the work you did on the board or that you've copied down in your notes. Remember, you can never write just answers. You must write the original problem, show your work, and then circle your answer.